65% of people who are requesting information, like Kirsten talked about, they're in your Facebook groups, they've said, oh, that sounds interesting. 65% of them are not gonna purchase for at least 3 months. That's a real stat. And 20% of them are gonna take 12 months or more. We talk about the people who were living in their car or were an addict or they, I was homeless at one point, and we talk about all of these stories. But I'll tell you something, I know some of you have people like that on your list and you're not following up because you've told yourself a story. They don't have the money, they're not gonna be interested. If you genuinely care about people, you will follow up and follow up and follow up as long as it takes. The professionals in this audience never, ever, ever take people off their list because things change. Write this down. You can't say the wrong thing to the right person at the right time. You cannot say the wrong thing to the right person at the right time. 70% of purchasing decisions come from a desire to solve a problem. So we need to get to a person's point of pain. And Kirsten and I, when we were preparing our training, what we talked about is you're not just recruiting new people into your team. Some of you need to recruit in your team. Some of the people you've already recruited and their people and so on and so on and so on, they have points of pain. And you're wondering, why don't they go to an event? Why don't they rank advance? When was the last time you picked up the phone and you spent 20 minutes talking to someone about their pain? Lisa Grossman says, everyone walks around with these signs, just love me. And it doesn't matter how together someone looks on the outside, we all have pain. We all have pain, each and every one of us. People will move toward pleasure, but more so away from pain. So when you're following up, and I get people all the time, oh, no one's signing up with me. And I'm like, do you know their pain? Because if you don't have any points of leverage. 80% of sales require 5 follow-ups. So last night, I was in my hotel room, and I decided I was going to watch some television. And there I am, and I've got the television on, and I'm clicking the remote, and nothing's happening. There's no sound, the television's not moving. I'm like, what the heck? So I do all the stuff, like I turn it off, and I turn it on, right? I did that. And then I go around to the back of the television, I'm like, turn it off, turn it on. And I was raised by a single dad. Any single parents in the room? Shouts out to you guys. So I was raised by a single dad. My dad taught me, he's like, before you ask for help, try and fix it yourself. So there I am clicking and I'm unplugging, and finally I'm like, I'm just calling maintenance. So the maintenance guy comes up, his name was Chris, and I said, Chris, I'm sure it's on me. I'm doing something wrong. And he looks at me and he takes the remote and he starts clicking the volume. Click, 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 click. And I still don't hear anything. Click, 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 and it gets to the end of the volume bar, and click, 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 and suddenly the sound comes on. And he looked at me and he said, sometimes the end is not the end. I was like, dang, that was like some wisdom right there in my hotel room, some television wisdom. It's better than Dr. Phil. And and the people on your list, the people on your team, the end is not the end. The end is not the end.